Hey everybody, and welcome back. So today I wanted to do a little kind of like a review. I want to start doing reviews just of like specific products versus like a bunch of different things from time to time, just because I feel like it's a little bit more useful for anybody who happens to be searching for that one specific item that just wants somebody's honest opinion of how the product works and kind of formulation, a little bit of information about it. So today I'm going to be focusing on the LA Girl Pro Concealers. I have 7 of these shades. I don't know how many there are. I want to say that there's like 18, 20 shades maybe. I don't know. There's a lot, definitely. I do purchase all of mine online from ladymoss.com. They're really affordable. I'm not quite sure if they ship everywhere, but I do know that they ship to the US for sure because they're based in Southern California. And they do have a shop as well too. I've never been to that for some reason, but I just haven't. But they're only $2.50 each, so it's super affordable. So if you're looking for something that doesn't have to be like drugstore quality, but you're looking for that drugstore price, this is amazing because in my opinion, it's a lot cheaper than drugstore and it performs like a high-end product. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So you save your bank account, which is gigantic, especially if you're addicted to buying and spending money on makeup. This will save you so much. So I'm going to just go ahead, and I'm not doing so much of like a color review just because obviously I don't have them all because I don't use them all, or I would not use them all, let's just say. I want to go ahead and just kind of like touch on a little bit of things. I will say that the one I use to contour with from time to time, if you want something pretty dramatic and you're a fair, like lighter toned skin, then I use the Beautiful Bronze. Is one of the like, it's on the last section of the darker shades. They just came out with some new ones and they do have darker than this. So it's kind of awesome because they have an excellent range from very, very dark to very, very light. So anywhere in the medium of that spectrum to the far ends, you're going to have something that's going to work for you more than likely. Or even still, what's great is you can mix these colors together to kind of get a perfect toned or hued shade for your skin. So it's really adjustable in that way as well. So these are really, really good. I do use mine with, if I use the highlighting colors, I will use it with a beauty blender. I do use mine a lot of the time dry just because I'm lazy and I don't go and get it wet. But definitely I would say if you have a little bit more dry skin underneath the eye area, which is where you'd be putting the highlight, to go ahead and wet the beauty blender because that'll give you a little bit of that extra moisture and take away any excess product that you don't need per se, so you don't have like a cakey layer, but you can use it both ways. As for the darker shades, I use a pretty dense, smaller brush. There's not like a specific brush that you need to use for this. It's just obviously since you're contouring with it, you can just go ahead and use something more dense to just kind of blend it out that way. But these blend really, really well. As long as you're working in the right motion with these, they're not going to give you like any harsh lines. And when you blend them with each product, so let's just say you're using a light and a dark one, they'll blend really well together. Or if you're using, let's just say you're only using the highlighter and you're using a different bronzer, like I use my Chanel cream bronzer, and they work really well together. So they work well together as well as with other products is what I'm getting at there. And what is kind of awesome is they just went ahead and added a bunch of corrector colors. So I picked up 3 of those. I'm pretty sure that they have a purple as well. I don't have a need for purple, but they do have that if that is a shade that you use. I have the yellow corrector, the green corrector, and then the orange corrector. So this will be really good for the dark circles. This is good for redness and like hyperpigmentation. In that video I did last week about helping to cover hyperpigmentation. Yes. And then yellow you can just use for like brightening as well. So you can technically, I use porcelain, which is the very lightest shade that they just came out with underneath to highlight, but you can definitely use the yellow if you'd like and set it with another yellow powder, or you can set it with a lighter powder as well with that. But the color pigmentation on these is extremely well done. Like I'll just swatch the orange one for you just so you can kind of get a feel. And they all have like a brush applicator, but the pigment, a little bit of this goes a long way, 110%, especially with these new corrector colors. this is that it looks really orange on my skin tone. I could definitely see that. But the main point of this is it can sheer out. So you can kind of blend it out and get that desired amount of color pigmentation that you want. Obviously it's going to be orange, this is the whole purpose, but you can see it just sheer out quite a bit, which is ideal when you want something that's formulated really well. It should be able to have a high pigmentation payoff in the beginning, but be able to sheer out and or blend up to the desired finish, just like any foundation would as well too. You want to be able to have the ability to kind of work its way up in pigmentation, or not pigmentation, but work its way up in your desired cover amount. So you can go sheer to full coverage is what I'm trying to say there. With these as well too is I haven't noticed, they're not specifically, or at least nothing that I read so far, they're not specifically non-comedogenic, which basically means that it's more prone to breaking out. Like the ingredients are specifically not geared to not break you out. These, I haven't seen anything about that, but I haven't had a problem necessarily with using them and having them break me out. And I have very acne prone, sensitive, thin skin, so since I haven't had a problem with those, I definitely say take a peek in that if you have any of those problems that I just listed, because hopefully, obviously it's not like a one size fits all cookie cutter type of thing, but they're really good for that so far, so that is a plus. So we have with these, I just love the fact that with a concealer, you want something that's going to give you the coverage. It's going to not crease and it's not going to look cakey. And with these, I really like the fact that it gives you that pigmentation hands down. As far as creasing, it really depends on your skin type and what you're using on your eye and face before you put these on too, because it might crease a little bit under the eye area if you have dry skin and you're not treating it properly and keeping that hydrating, and you're not setting it with a powder. So other than that, if you treat your skin and give it a nice canvas before you put any of these products on, then it should blend out like a dream. And as for looking cakey, obviously with any concealer, because they are thick, it's going to look cakey if you put a lot on. So I would say start off with a little bit, blend it out, see if you like the amount of coverage that you have, and then work your way up from there. So with those, overall, it's just a really good concealer, and they're affordable. You can get them online. I'm pretty sure there's other stores. I believe Morphe has them as well, so you can order from them online or go into their store if you live in Southern California. But I just wanted to touch upon those and give you a little bit of like my feel for the product overall, which is definitely an awesome product. So if you're looking for a concealer, I hope this gives you a budget-friendly alternative to using a high-end product. So that is all for this edition of my little one-on-one review of a single product. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in a couple days for my next video. Alright, bye.